Welcome everyone to the Gaikokukokujin Podcast. I'm your host Pop, and we got your boy, the other host, Willymane. No, we both equals in this thing. Right now, guys, it's only the two of us. But for those of you who are new, we have Gio, who's a relatively new host, and we usually have Graham, but those two can't be here right now. And for those, they both have work. And for those of you who are just watching this for the first time, this is a podcast all about everything nerd, anime, pop culture, comics, and we also do self-improvement and men's health and stuff like that. And we also talk about social issues. So if you think you'd like something like that, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And we're gonna pass it on to Willymane because I think he has something special in store for today, or rather, he has a big announcement for what we're doing in the future.
Yes. So normally we're all working during the week, and it's kind of hard for us to find time to do our podcast with everybody's schedules. I probably have the most time, but I'm going to be picking up the editing slack for the most part. If you guys follow me on Instagram, you can see me stressing out and drinking a lot of coffee. But nah, it's not that bad. But so what we want to do now is on Fridays, we want to essentially do like a wrap up of weekly topics that we were talking about in our group chat and everything like that. So Fridays we'll shoot it on Friday. You guys probably won't see it till Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday maybe, but the goal is to get ahead of the trending topics and then potentially have them drop on Friday so that we can do like a wrap up. But yeah, so we'll talk about all the topics that we usually have during the week in our group chat, and then from there we will do our big podcast on Saturday. So our big podcast is going to be one main event. If you guys probably, we'll probably drop this before we drop our main big podcast. So I'll just give you guys a heads up that our next big podcast for this weekend, and we should have all four of us here, will be the pros and cons of essentially moving to Africa. I mean, we'll just do Africa this time. We can talk about other countries later on. But a big thing is that we want to talk about, I mean, you guys heard it before where people are like, oh, why don't you guys go back to Africa? They probably don't say it as nice as that, but it got me thinking, and a lot of us has thought about it, is like, what would it be like to move back to Africa? So not to get too much into that, that's essentially what we want to touch on when we do our next podcast, sure. And you guys will see that. But before that, you guys will see the first podcast that we had with Gio, aka Black Phoenix, and essentially we'll be doing talk about microtransactions. So you guys should already have seen it by the time this video has dropped, God willing. But we're trying to shift our podcast to a more professional vibe, essentially. Like, we want to clean up a lot of our mistakes. You guys have been giving us a lot of good feedback, so we're taking all of that in, and we are going to be better, essentially. We're going to shift towards having a steady schedule, having more trending topics. The biggest thing is, like, you guys shooting us topics. A lot of people are shooting me comments in my inbox and on my Facebook page, but truthfully, we need you guys to be commenting on our actual videos.
For sure. It helps out a lot.
YouTube videos, because it helps with the algorithm. Everybody, you hear it all the time. You're like, shameless plug this, shameless plug that, but this is just the belly of the beast, and we're trying to actually grow this channel to be a lot better than what it is now. And potentially, once we're able to start monetizing and things like that, then we can start paying for editors and everything like that, so that we can put more time into the interviews and more time.
For sure.
Because right now, with the way we're going, it's a lot of work, but it's worth it. It's worth it in the end, to be honest. But without further ado, let's get on to our trending topics for the week. So I'll pass it back to Pop.
All right, guys. So our trending topics for the week are Shining Pearl and Brilliant Diamond, the remake of those all too familiar Pokemon games. I believe it was Gen 4, right? Gen 4.
Yeah, it came after Ruby and Sapphire. That dumpster fire.
Don't start with me.
Yo, it'd be like
we're gonna talk about Squid Games because everybody talking about that.
Yep.
And we're gonna talk about the new Smash Brothers event. I think it was from Nintendo Direct.
Yes,
we're gonna talk about get into Sora. And we're also going to talk about this particular video done by Oshay Duke Jackson. Shout out to him. I watch him all the time. But he had an interesting topic about Doja Cat. And what we're going to talk about isn't specifically about her, but like the situation surrounding her.
It brought to light a situation that, I mean, it pertains to Blurred. So,
Blurred.
Like we all over it.
So, all right, we're going to talk about Shining Pearl and Brilliant Diamond.
Yeah.
So, this is, I believe, the first remake of older generations on a Switch, if I'm correct. Because I think the last one was
Shining
Sapphire, was Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire. I think that was the remake for the 3DS, if I'm correct. So now this is finally a remake for the Switch. I'll give Will the floor and see what he thinks about it, the remake.
So as far as the remake goes, I think it's dope because they're kind of keeping the old school Game Boy or 3DS vibes with how you move around. But then when it comes to like the battles and things like that, they're taking the 3D aspect and like the battle system that they've kind of adapted for like the new Pokemon games in general. And they're adding new animations and everything like that. I kind of wish, I don't know if they're like holding off, but they could potentially drop an Emerald and a Platinum as a pack just to kind of like, because those were essentially the third games or the yellow versions. Yeah. But they haven't done them. So with Nintendo, you never know.
We never know.
Like I mean that's to just go talk about Nintendo in general, that they kind of like have their system down for like how to bring customers back. And as much as I don't like paying $59.99 for a game 5 years after it released, like
they know they got you.
Yeah, it's just like, bro, like come on, like let me get a deal. It's like, nah, bro, we can't even let you hold $1 out here. Like I need that. Like I need the full amount. And it's just like, bro, like
all right.
Yeah, but the quality of games from Nintendo it's good.
So I mean, as much as criticism that Nintendo has, you gotta just understand that Nintendo, like their business plan is just it's insane. Like they're super protective of their IP, intellectual property, their quality game. Like I mean, think about Pokemon, think about Zelda, think about Mario, all those household names. Like when we were younger, even before that, like they've just been quality games. They don't reinvent the wheel. They just
no, not at all. And I kind of wish they just take over all the franchises that we used to love, like Kingdom Hearts and Fable.
I mean, they kind of are. I mean, they bought out Sonic recently. Not recently, but they had Sonic rights for a while now. But like, yeah, man, Nintendo in terms of quality of games, immaculate. Like they're impeccable.
And with I was just gonna bring us back into Diamond and Pearl.
I was about to go touch it.
But I think that I will probably end up buying them. I mean, I know for sure my daughter will probably want to play them. I don't know. She's kind of stuck on Animal Crossing right now. So Animal Crossing is another one of those games where like, bro, low key Animal Crossing hits. Like I remember first time playing it, but I'm not even gonna get on that because we'll just get off tangent. But go ahead and what do you think your 2 cents?
So honestly, like I'm gonna be honest, like I haven't played Pokemon in a while. I don't want to get into it. But I think it's just that what was the last version I played? I think I played Black and White 2, and that was before I went to the military. I think it was because of my stint of like basic training and going to tech school and coming over here. I kind of just lost touch with it. Because I'm gonna be honest, like Black and White 2 wasn't really hitting. Like at that point, I was just playing it because it was a new Pokemon, and
I don't think I played either of them.
Yeah,
because I know Pokemon Black and White flopped, and then everybody, and then they were just like, "But we made 2," and I was like, "What?" Like, and then I was just kind of like, "All right, I'm gonna just chill." But then, what was it? Sword and Shield? No,
the Sun and Moon.
Sun and Moon.
Sun and Moon came after that.
That came. So I heard those were actually really good. Like, the story was good. It was a different approach. I want to say Sun and Moon was like when they had the island, or not Sun. Yeah, Sun and Moon is when they were on the island. So they had different versions of the original Pokemon. Like I think like Vulpix was like a fairy, like dragon or something.
Was that the Alolan?
Yeah.
The Alolan. Yeah, the Alolan.
Like they were island Pokemons. Yeah, they were just like.
Was it? Was it that one?
Yeah, that was the one.
Because it was Sun and Moon and then Sword and Shield.
Yeah.
Okay, so it was the Alolan.
Yeah, Sun and Moon was definitely like the island vibes. Like even all the trainers were just. It was literally like you were in like Hawaii or something like that.
Yeah,
like
I think it was actually based. I think it was based in Hawaii because Aloha, whatever. Yeah. But I haven't played since Sun and Moon. Honestly, I'm trying to get back into it. But I think that one will probably be good from the reviews and the trailers that I've seen. Like,
and the thing is like they're legit. They're not really they're improving the games as they release. So it's not like you're playing the same game. Of course, you're going to get somewhat of the same story, but you're also getting features that were like brought to us in Gold and Silver and Ruby and Sapphire, because those two, let's just be honest, even though I don't personally like Ruby and Sapphire, it brought a lot of game mechanics that essentially propelled Pokemon into the future, and it's why it's still relevant at this point.
Yeah, because it's competitive.
Yeah, and even if we talk about like where Pokemon is going now, they're essentially, so this goes back into how Nintendo is making their games. So essentially the new Pokemon is going to be like Breath of the Wild, essentially.
Yeah, Arceus Legends.
Yeah, exactly. So Breath of the Wild like was revolutionary for Zelda, like period. I mean, it was a revolutionary like Switch game. It really took off. I mean, of course I paid $59.99 for that. But it was dope. And the thing is like it's a 2-parter, so it's just like, bro, like I think that's what everybody's salty about is like they did a Nintendo Direct, didn't say nothing about Zelda 2. Like, and it's just like, come on, Nintendo, like, stop.
They probably going to. They love teasing. They love teasing.
They're like, oh, we forgot about this Zelda thing. like, yo, it's releasing December 25th. Like, yo, don't play with me. But the thing is, Nintendo is like that, where it'll be like,
surprise.
All of a sudden, like all of a sudden it's like, hey, we kind of like releasing Zelda in like a month and a half. But I think it said that it wasn't going to be ready till like probably like May or April 2022. Don't quote me on that, but it's definitely not releasing this year, unfortunately. But we do have, is that new Pokemon releasing this year?
I believe so. Got to double check the date, but I'm 100% sure it's releasing this year.
Should be.
I mean, yeah, it should be in time for holiday season. Yeah, that would be the smart move.
And that would keep everybody kind of busy until.
Yeah.
Oh, it's releasing in January, but either way, that's still.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
well,
still,
as I was.
I thought.
But not to get too far off topic, but Pokemon is kind of hitting different. Like this year, they kind of going hard because Unite came out this year. Did it come out? Yeah, it came out this year. The Arceus Legend is releasing or was announced, and then this new remake, like it's kind of hitting.
And low key, I've been hearing. I mean, so I'm waiting to get Unite until the roster build up a little bit, or they put that one Pokemon on there that I'm just like, yo, I gotta play this. Which is probably gonna be. I think they already got Scyther on there, don't they? It's got to be Scizor though. Like that's my dog.
Yeah, Scizor is cool.
Yeah, but I mean, I don't know. There's a couple Pokemon that I just don't know where they're gonna go. I mean, if you think about League of Legends, because that's what Unite essentially is, not League of Legends exactly, but it's a MOBA. The roster could get ridiculous. I mean, they have over 900 Pokemon at this point, so who knows? I know they're about to release what is the Fairy Evelyn?
Sniveleon?
Yeah, that's the one.
Lion or whatever.
Yeah, you're on the right track. But they're releasing that one, and everybody. I mean, she essentially is Ari from League of Legends. Like, she has a charm. She's a fairy. Like, she's like very like majestic, as they say. But so we'll see how that goes. I mean, I think that Nintendo is definitely on the right track with how they're dealing with Pokemon games. And like I said, like, I'll probably pick up Pearl. Just because, like, I mean, I don't remember playing it. The Pokemon, I don't remember being too bad. I looked at the Pokédex already, and it's got the Pokemon on there that I want to have in my roster. So that's really what it comes down to. Like, for me, it's just like, can I build my Pokemon up that I used to have? So, but
man. Definitely, guys, check it out. Shining Pearl and Brilliant Diamond should be dope. Should be really dope, especially for people like me. I haven't been on Pokemon in a while. It's a good pickup point. But anyways, guys, we're gonna move on to our next topic, and this topic is we're gonna leave it in the comment section below. But this topic is about Doja Cat, and pretty much Oshay Duke Jackson. He's a YouTuber that's been in the Black Manosphere. For those of you who don't know that term, it's pretty much like a corner of YouTube that talks about specifically and exclusively almost about Black men and how to improve themselves, the issues that surround us and whatnot. So, for those of you who don't know, Doja Cat is, I guess you could say, controversial for sure. She is a pop artist, a pop star. She, to give a little bit of context, I believe she is from South Africa. Yeah,
this is she's South African, Jewish, and something else.
Yeah, her mother was South African, as far as I know, white South African, and her father was Black.
Yeah, her mom is definitely white. I saw, if you look at the video that we'll link, then it definitely shows her mom.
Yeah, so to give you a little bit of context, so in this story that Oshay covered, she was dating a very quote unquote nerdy looking European dude, and for argument's sake, or not just for argument's sake, but you could look at Doja Cat and you could kind of not see someone like her being with a dude like that. No offense to the dude, but like, you know, she's really attractive.
Yeah, she's a pop star. But she's a pop star. So for me to describe it, like, literally, like, the dude is like super nerdy, like long hair. But that's the thing about European men. They're different, definitely different from like American men in general. Their style is a lot different. Things that wouldn't necessarily be like okay in the United States, like that you wouldn't, things that you would wear things in Europe that you would get judged for in the United States, hands down. Like, there's a lot of outfits out here that are just like, yo, why is this dude wearing them? But it's like European culture, and I'm speaking from somebody who lives in Europe, and I've seen it when I've gone out where it's just like, yo, this outfit's a little wild. But to be honest, like, European streetwear, like Japanese streetwear, like, it's kind of lit. Like,
it's kind of weird. Yo, Korean streetwear too. It's like, but we get into that another time. But pretty much to finish the story, or with the point that Oshay was getting at, I don't want to misquote him, but like the essence of it was, his argument was that you have Doja Cat, who I guess follows the same mentality as a lot of quote unquote Black women in America. And like, why is it that a woman with her attractiveness level, or her status and everything, would take up a nerdy dude, or a dude that looks like her boyfriend? I mean, it is what it is, you know. No everybody judgment on him.
Yeah, but the thing,
but if it was a black, but if it was a Black dude,
was that the argument of like, oh, Black men only go after foreign women, white women, they don't go after black men. But the thing that he's essentially, this is like from what I've watched, if a successful black woman, like an attractive black woman, saw a dude who looked like this and he was black, think about the nerdiest anime kid that you ever seen in high school, and like I'm talking about like hardcore nerdy, like Naruto running down the hallway nerdy, and like him with the top cheerleader or the prom queen or something like that. Like it's just not something that you see on a regular basis. And us talking about it from the blurred point of view, I mean, for me, when I was growing up, like I did hide like my nerdiness because I mean, most women don't want to see that, or especially when we're in like high school and growing up and stuff like that. And even now, like, I mean, I still play video games, I still watch anime and things like that, but it's just like one of those things where it's like, who cares? Like, if I'm doing things that make me happy, then why should it even matter? And I will say that the culture is changing.
Yeah, it's really good.
A lot, because in the past, this might be a valid argument because like anime started blowing up recently. And when I say recently, maybe in like, let's just say 5 years, the last 5 years has slowly been growing. Content creators and gamers have been developing a lot quicker just because of COVID, and then Twitch and things like that. So all these things are becoming socially normal, but there's still a problem where, quote unquote, not my saying, black women are still like, these dudes are nerdy. Like, I mean, we've heard the conversation where black women have been like, oh, I want a dude who's like goes to the gym, he's athletic, he makes good money, he drives a nice car, this and that. But it's like, as a nerd, as a blurred out here, like you can do the same thing. Like you can make just as much money on Twitch, you can make just as much money on YouTube, you can wear Skechers, you can have your pants pulled all the way up with the belt, and your shirt tucked in, and a collared shirt that's too big for you, and just like not get a haircut and not do all these things. But you still won't get the girls that you want to a certain extent. I mean,
to a certain extent,
not saying that every woman is like that and every black woman is like that, but there are a lot of stereotypical women like that who essentially would not go after like the nerdy dude over like the jock, the athlete, the dude who's like bald in the gym and just big and just has no hobbies but going to the gym. They want to wonder why. Speaking to my homeboy, he was just like he's in the gym all the time, and he's just like, yo, I don't have any other hobbies. Like, and it's just like, I get it to a certain extent, but like either way, I told him, I was like, yo, women will go after you just because of the way you look, just because of like, you know how to dress. You look like you can protect them. Maybe that's the biggest thing, is like,
I think that's the biggest thing. I think so. It's kind of like a complex topic, because I think that overall, and we touched on this before, but like the whole image of the black man has been not so great, especially how mainstream society in America has portrayed us at times, and sometimes how we portrayed ourselves, like this hyper masculine, like, I guess, like for better term, brutish, whatever, hyper aggressive, whatever.
But that's not every black man. I mean,
that's not every black man, of course, for sure. But I think what it is, and I mean, this is veering into another topic with single parent households. When a lot of young girls look at that image, they internalize that as like, oh, that is the type of Batman I should go after. So if you have a black boy growing up, and I don't know, he grew up in a suburban area, or he was introduced to different things, and he like plays the accordion or plays a trumpet or plays video games, especially in our era, like we not getting much attention from females. I mean, like that.
There's a lot of memes where it's just like the nerdy dude who is smart and things like that, and it's just like, oh, these girls don't want me. Later on in life, he's successful, he's making money, he's doing all these things that the jock and all these other guys weren't doing, like the athletes, and now the girls are like, oh, hey, like, remember me from back in, exactly. Like, oh, I see you got your little Ferrari right there. I see you driving a BMW. What you doing? Like, no, I'm good. Like, but that's kind of toxic in itself too, because now that dude has put himself in a space where it's like, well, I don't necessarily need a woman. I don't want a woman who's going to potentially going after his possessions, because at that point he doesn't know if the woman's there for his possessions or if she's there for like because she really cares. And I guess that's something that you just have to live and learn and find out. But with that being said, I mean, the second part of, let me try to remember this. So the second part that he went into, oh geez, I can't remember. He went into a second part of the video where he was let me watch it real quick, but you go ahead and take the mic real quick.
So to kind of go back into that that topic or that section is, I think that it also speaks to what we were talking about before about instant gratification. So I think that especially now, women in American society, they want a dude that is like ready-made rich or whatever. And I think certain people in the Black manosphere touched on it. I believe Oshay touched on it, where there's another issue where I think a lot of Black women feel like nerdy dudes like blurs often, when they grow up, they get with non-Black women. And I think the issue with that is that I believe that a lot of non-Black women have, because a lot of them, I mean, I don't mean to talk bad, but a lot of them they come from a two-parent household, so it's easier for them to pinpoint certain traits in guys that have potential. Not necessarily guys that have money now, but if they see you and you're working hard at school, you're to yourself, you're not showy, you have traits that they see in their father, then they will pinpoint you better. Whereas Black women, sometimes it's kind of hard because they don't have that male figure to kind of like have a template off of. And this is just talking points that I've heard, not from me.
Because even you say like Black women who have older brothers, like they kind of like, okay, I want somebody not necessarily exactly like their brother, but they want somebody who can make them feel safe. Because this is just my thought, like random thought, but I think that women want to feel a certain level of comfort with their dude that kind of reminds them, because you got to think like it reminds you a father's love for his daughter is never going to be, that's true love. Like it's something that you cannot recreate. So to say that they go after a somewhat feeling of that when they look for their partner is not necessarily a far stretch. Not saying that like, oh, they're looking for somebody who's exactly like their dad. They're looking for somebody who's exactly like their brother, but they want somebody who can make them feel safe, essentially, and not feel like they have any means to do them any harm, no matter what. Like unconditional love, essentially. That's
kind of why height is a big thing.
Well, I just looked it up. The second part of what he was saying was, so now you have all these Black women who are going after like dudes that are like nerdy or rich or this and that. Like, but if a Black man was the same build, same like into the same stuff, he wouldn't get any play, essentially. But then you have the men who were just like, okay, these Black women don't want me. I'm gonna go get me a girl in another race, and she likes like what I do. Like she likes me playing video games. She likes the anime. She likes me not being super overly masculine and things like that. And that's just, I mean, it'd be like that sometimes. Like truthfully, like, and that's the difference between like Western women and then women in the European. Even in Europe, Japan, like, I mean, you could even think about South America, like just in general, like Western culture is just kind of like, for lack of better words, like it's in a bubble. Let's just say
it's in a strange place. We'll put it that way. And we're not definitely not bashing women, Black women. Like, I mean, some of my first crushes were definitely Black girls when I was growing up. But it's just a thing where it's like it's a pretty interesting perspective, And on another note, with Doja Cat's history, I can kind of see where she's coming from. She's said some stuff that are kind of controversial, but I can see where she's coming from. I can see her certain idiosyncrasies towards Black men. And it also points out to what we're talking about in our videos about music. You can check that out in our channel.
Sure.
Where our image is important, man. It's image.
But that's the thing,
because it goes both ways. Because you have some Black women that will look at us and be like, Black men are this and XYZ. So I'm gonna date a white dude, or I'm gonna date another man of another race. And then you have Black women that would be like, oh, this dude why is he watching these weird cartoons and doing all this stuff? Like, I'm gonna go over here. So
we've all heard the conversation.
Yeah, we've all heard this.
It's like, growing up as a blurred, like pretty much you just like you had to be. So that's why I was kind of like a hybrid blurred. So to say, like, you had to adapt and overcome essentially to a certain extent. But like at one point I was like super nerdy, super quiet, not very outgoing or anything like that. I started hanging out with my Hispanic homeboys, and they be wild and stuff like that. They taught me a couple things, but it just, as I got older, I realized that I just keep the stuff that I like to myself, and then not necessarily putting off a different persona, but like essentially just being like, I got my own hobbies. If you get to know me enough, then you'll learn like what I actually like, but not necessarily putting that out on the surface. And that gets you to a certain extent to, get what you want. I don't know. That's like, it'll get you the girl that you want, but that doesn't necessarily mean that the girl that you get is going to be the one that you want.
And trust me, like, you're not the only one. There's a lot of dudes that I grew up with, because I didn't hide it. Like, I got picked on, made fun of, all that stuff, but I didn't hide it. I didn't care. But there's a lot of dudes who are doing the same dirty stuff at home, but like, at school they were hiding it, and they could hide it well. But now it's awesome for you guys, because you can like all the anime you want, and there are girls that aren't hiding it too, because there were girls too that were hiding it. Let's be honest. But obviously it's on the same side with us, because it's not only us as male blurs,
it's like women,
it's girls too.
Like,
but they don't
want to would be like, oh no, she's in the anime and all this.
She's
stuff.
Weird.
She reads books. Like, like, her books, like all her books are upside down, like she's reading it backwards. Like, bro, that's a manga. Like, I'm gonna need you to chill.
You uncultured swine.
For real, though. Like, but that's the thing, is like, it's more so like in the Black culture, like it's like we dog is like, when it, like the saying is like, it be your own people, like for real. Like
we don't play to roast each other too, and it's not just in America, it's like everywhere.
Oh yeah, but that's the thing, is like dudes, like Black dudes from like England and stuff like that. We gotta find somebody from like England, like, bro. Like, them dudes are wild. Like, they be talking about American dudes, but them dudes, like, from what I've seen, there's like a show where it's like it's like a dating show, I think it is, but like it looks like every week. It looks like they're like the RDC world of like England, of
Brits. Oh yeah, shoot.
Like, so I'll find the links. But
if you're from the UK, leave a comment. You're trying to get a UK dude from here,
for real,
because Gio's Canadian. So
wait, he's Canadian?
Yeah,
he's pretty much from England. Nah,
you're taking the
L. Yo, let me live out here, bro. Like, no. But truthfully, if we could find like Black men from all around the world, like, that would be dope, because that'll be something so we'll have something special for you guys when we get into our Africa talk. But let's just leave it open for discussion at this point. If you're a blurred dude or female, how do you feel about your experiences growing up, and how has it changed now? Because right now, this feels like it's the perfect time to be a blurred. Like,
It's
you look
awesome.
at TikTok, bro. Like, everybody's like, "Yo, where the blurs at? Where the black community? Where the black TikTokers?" Like, all the stuff that I see on there, like, and the people I try to follow, black dudes, black females, all doing like cosplay, anime stuff, anime edits, like having real life conversations about anime. Because like that wasn't something that you talked about
20 years ago. I would never imagine this.
For
not at all.
But let's move on to the next topic.
We're gonna move on to the next topic.
We can talk about. I don't want to talk too much about Doja Cat because I mean, truthfully, it's her prerogative of what.
At the end of the day, it's her prerogative.
It's not like, let's just say, not all black men, but a lot of majority of black men have not made it easy for black men to be accepted with all this reckless behavior, and I'll just leave it at that.
So the next topic we're gonna go into, you already know, Squid Games. But we're gonna do it from different perspectives. Sorry,
I don't want to necessarily talk on the show. I want to talk about the hype around the show, and then how social media and the way information is transferred right now has kind of like not dulled, but like taken away the excitement from shows. Like, so I'll just jump right into it. So essentially everybody was like, yo, you gotta watch Squid Game, you gotta watch Squid Game, you gotta watch Squid Game. And there's not really any way to avoid not watching it, because if I don't watch it, everything's going to be spoiled on social media. We're trying to build our podcast, so I have to be on social media. I have to share our content and things like that. So of course I'm going to scroll through my timeline and things like that. Always looking for trending topics, always looking for things. And then here it is, like 97 Squid Game memes. And I'm just like, bro, like, come on. And then everybody's talking about it and they're like, oh my God, like, Squid Game is so good. And then I watched it and I was like, it was kind of mid. Like, it was good, but it wasn't like, if I would have never seen it, I would have been okay, truthfully.
So honestly, I think Squid Game was good in terms of the acting, right? Because low key, like, Korean shows be
they do
like
they
differently,
do. And that one was a better Korean show than
if you guys never seen Parasite, it's a Korean, it's a show directed by a big Korean director. Parasite, watch it, guys.
You're talking about the anime?
Not the anime with the dude with the weird hand. Like, it's look up Parasite.
Well,
so personally, I love Squid Games. Like, let's just say I got a couple bouts of eye allergies in certain scenes. But
eye allergy. Yo, were you crying? Yo, come on. That's how I knew it wasn't hidden, because I didn't shed a tear. But maybe I'm just cold-hearted. So,
but like the acting was great. The plot was done before. The ending was, let me not spoil it, but okay. So overall, I'm more inclined to believe Will, but I'm different in that personally. Whenever I watch a show, because I'm a big like history buff. I like stories, right? So if it's a good story, if it's good acting and everything, like I'm all for it.
Yeah.
But looking at it from objectively, like, was this show amazing as it was hyped up to be? No, it wasn't actually.
And just think about Jupiter Legacy. Like, I told you, that show to me was fire because it was different. The story was lined up, but it didn't get a lot of hype, and everybody's like, oh, whatever. A lot of people didn't watch it. You barely got into it. And I watched the whole thing through. Like, I truthfully enjoyed that more than I enjoyed Squid Game. But this goes back into my personal views of, like, I'm not about that whole survival of the fittest, like human nature, like real gritty stuff. And that's just like, for me,
what it was.
It was like kind of cringy, because it's just like, you realize, like, this is not something that is like could be imaginary. Like this is potentially something that is actually going
Is
on.
it happening? Yeah.
Yeah,
But we don't know about it.
Exactly. Like every story has some type of truth to it, and truthfully, like the things that people would do for money is just like I just hate seeing human nature at its worst. Like where it's like, yo, we would
We see too much
all
of
this
it already.
stuff, yeah, to like for money. And the thing is like, yeah, with how that whole show went, is just like there was one part in there where I was just like, so we'll say episode 6. So episode 6, when pretty much that dude became the villain.
Yeah.
So I'll just say that, and that was the part where I was just like, bruh, like that was like I was like, wow, like
for those watching this, you know what we're talking about.
Yeah, so I don't want to spoil it just because I'm not that type of person, and that's a big reason why like I just went ahead and finished it, because if you don't watch it within like the first, let's just say month, especially the first 2 weeks, because the memes come like the show drops, the memes are there 30 minutes later. Like some dudes like, yo, I watched all of Squid Game. Like they're memeing it as they're watching the episode. Like, yep, that's a meme. This is a meme.
Facts.
Like, bruh, there was one. So the first episode where the dude catches him, and there was a meme, and it was like me, and it's like he's holding the dude, and it's like the homies making bad decisions, and it was like, bruh, like I gotta
just
watch
came
it.
out.
Like, yeah, like I'm just like, all right, I gotta watch it. But so the biggest thing that we wanted to talk about, or at least I wanted to talk about, is how social media has made watching and enjoying shows kind of not, like you kind of have to shield yourself away from social media if you don't want to know the endings to shows, because like I didn't watch the Demon Slayer movie and then somebody spoiled it. I didn't watch One Piece and then, you know, Graham's over here telling me stuff and I have to forget it because it's just like it takes away from me wanting to actually watch the show, because there's no excitement. Like I get that you're excited about watching the show and you want to share that experience with somebody, but DM somebody, bro. Like don't make memes. I mean, I can't tell people not to make memes because it is what it is, but it's just like, it's just so annoying to be like, okay, Squid Game came out literally 8 hours ago and people are talking about it blatantly on social media and just making memes about it and showing the whole movie essentially, or the whole show. And it's just like, I mean, I guess it's a part of digital marketing now because that's becoming something that's really big. It's free advertisement. That's another thing.
That's for damn sure.
So it's like, I mean, I did end up watching it because it's like, yo, if I don't want to just have somebody spoil it for me, then I gotta watch it. It is what it is. But I think that social media has definitely taken away from a lot of the excitement in shows. And that's a big thing with like, even in gaming and just production of movies and things like that. Like we used to go to the movies and not know anything, like what could happen, what potentially, there was no fan theories, there was no this and that, there was no pre-releases, there was no like reviews before the movie comes out. Like why are we doing reviews on movies before they come out? Like then posting them?
As you said before, it's free advertising, meme-wise. You know, people now eat off of criticizing movies like on YouTube and everything. But to kind of like, I guess, speak on it is just, I think that, especially with Will's example, and a big example is One Piece, is like, yo, I'll be on some groups and people just hate on One Piece, right? Yeah. So I think the thing is that when you overhype a particular piece of media, right, you just burden people with these unfounded like expectations, to the point where it's like, yo, if it isn't this level of blah 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 blah, like it's trash. Yeah. Instead of looking at it for itself at face value, just like, oh, this is a show about pirates, cool, let's check it out. Or this is a, you know, survival of the fittest show, or this is a whatever show. Even me and Will were talking about Game of Thrones the other day, right? Yeah. And I'm gonna get a lot of hate for this. This probably gonna get a lot of dislikes.
I'll probably feel the same way when I finish it. I'm not gonna.
I think that the ending of Game of Thrones was just how it was supposed to end. It's just that people weren't paying attention to the actual plot.
Yeah.
And people were just getting overhyped because it's Game of Thrones, Game of Thrones coming out, Game of Thrones, Game of Thrones, Game of Thrones.
And the thing is,
it's actually taking the show for the story for face value because the evidence to the ending was there, but that's another topic.
But the thing is like, imagine a show not ending like you wanted it to.
Exactly. People get mad.
Oh no,
because,
like, bro, like, I mean, people should have been mad about Game of Thrones from like episode, like the first season when they just started killing people off. It's like, oh, nothing is sacred in here. Like, period. Like, truthfully, I don't know how it ended, but I'm probably not. I was already pissed when they killed off the Stark brother and his wolf. Like, I was like, oh, I'm done. Like, Ned Stark. Like, once they killed him off, I was like, oh, like, I got nothing else that I want out of this show. Like, it's just like, I mean, a lot of people started getting more invested in, I mean, Game of Thrones, if you expected anything less than unexpected, then I don't know what to tell you, because I think I'm on like season 5, and I'll probably end it. Like, I didn't watch it because everybody's like, yo, the ending's trash. Like, let's talk about Kingdom Hearts 3. People were like, yo, Kingdom Hearts 3 was trash. Like, and that's the thing, is like, I think Kingdom Hearts 3 was actually trash because like there's a lot of die-hard fans who are like, yo, like they should have just never did that. And I'm just like, bro, like, don't tell me that. Like, don't tell me that. But that gets into our next subject, since we gotta talk about it. The best character in Smash Bros, hands down, from here on out. Roy was our boy, but Sora, bro, like, that was a curveball, and I'm low key like, I'm fucking.
Got it. Like, you gotta dust off that switch.
Yeah, like.
Actually, I'm gonna charge mine right now. Mine is like
fully charged right now. Like, let me just go ahead and make sure it's updated. But nah, I mean, I've been low key wanting to get back into Smash because Sephiroth dropped. Definitely want to play with him. I'm a sword dude. So. But either way, I'm one of the dudes who uses swords. Low key, I was getting kind of dirty with Ken. Like,
Ken.
Like, I was getting down with Ken. So like, he was like what Little Mac should have been. And I mean, Ryu's dope and everything. I think they're the same character, but Ken has like a different, you know how they do those like mirror characters. But
my Switch out here too. OG.
Yo, is that not the Smash bundle? Like,
nah, people broke out here.
Bruh, when Long Beach Griffey did that Smash bundle, bruh, I was like, bruh, like, motherfuckers is wild out here. And excuse my cursing, but like, that's the only way I can say it, because bruh, it was like, sir, we're in the middle of a test. It was like, is that the Smash, bro? Is that the Smash bundle? But yeah, I mean, I'm super hyped for Sora being in Smash Bros. So with that being said, I don't know. Smash is just kind of one of those games that it's a party game, but low key, I don't have nobody to play with. So y'all got y'all Nintendo.
He's lonely out here. You'll send that friend codes. Friend codes.
Send them friend codes if you playing Smash, and I'll see if I can knock the rust off. There are a couple people that have beat me, but we're not gonna talk about that. I mean, back in the day,
just be honest,
GameCube,
like I'm hyper super duper dog water. So
yeah. Oh, bet, yo, Abby, send me that friend code, bro. Send me that friend code. But I don't even know when Sora's releasing. But I was looking at the characters that they released, and for the most part, everybody had a lot of complaints about some of the DLC characters because they were just OP. I mean, that's another thing. It's like, I don't think Sora. I don't think. Wait, what? I'm a Ganondorf though. Name. Like, what you mean, bro?
OP for no reason.
It's not my fault you were at 30% and thought you were gonna live. Like, dodge. like I don't know what you want from me. Like, he's literally one of the slowest characters in the game. Like, if you can't dodge his punches, like, I don't know what to tell you. Like, I guess you're just gonna die. Like, bro, I was running cheeks with Ganondorf and Burkina Faso when I went to on a TD wire. I was running cheeks, bro. Like, Ganondorf, like, people were like, it was so bad that people were just picking Ganondorf, and I was just like, I mean, I'm the GOAT, so I don't know what you want.
Banned, bro. You can't play. Smash.
I don't care. I may run them. I mean, people beat me. Like if you can play. I think I lost to Samus and Sheik because they're just too fast and they literally can dodge everything that I'm throwing at them. Like it would be. I'd have to grab them and literally like pin them down. Like and be like, all right, don't run. Like Ganondorf style. Like, but bro, Ganondorf he at 30%, bro. Anything is a critical hit at that point, bro. Like,
yo, Will just is a warrior.
Yo, I'm built for out here. I'm built for Ganondorf. Like,
Will is on like, I want you. I need you. You know, it's an easy way. You can do this the hard way.
As soon as I pick Ganondorf, you already know we're doing it the hard way because y'all want to play too many games out here. Like,
well, yeah, man, I'm excited for the Switch is dope. Like Nintendo, we already talked about this, but yeah. I'm excited.
I just don't know where they're gonna go with Smash after this. I think the creator of Smash said this was gonna be his last Smash game.
Really?
Yeah, I think there's been talks of him retiring, essentially. So this was like his hand-selected kind of like, this is who I wanted to be in the game before I do my farewell. Don't quote me on this, but this is just speculation that I've heard. If you do have some hardcore facts on it, it'll probably be Geo. Drop it in the comment boxes. You'd be like, I mean, maybe even Graham for damn sure. It's a shame that we couldn't get both of them on the show. But yeah, we haven't even got any replies from them yet. But they're on different schedules. They're on stateside time, and me and Pop are in the future. Yeah, exactly. So, but that essentially wraps it up for
it does.
The weekly roundup. So we talked about Pokemon, we talked about Squid Game, and not necessarily Squid Game, but like the hype around shows. As far as when they release, what's your time frame for having to watch them before everything is spoiled, and then what do you do at that point? Like when you know the ending, you know, like plot twist and things like that. How does it affect you as far as like your motivation to watch the show or finish the show? Does it take away from the excitement of the show? Because like to me, Squid Game was okay. Like it wasn't that great to me. It was a dope story mode, but then again, I'm not like into shows like that. Like I don't like The Purge. I don't like Saw movies and stuff like that. Like I'm not big into gore and things like that. So yeah, I said it. Fight
I
me.
mean, I'm the opposite though.
Yeah, so that's it. To each their own. Like that's what it comes down to. It's like, like I mean, what's a Netflix show that I'm like kind of hyped on? Like Ozark, like something like that, or Narcos. Like, yeah, okay. So like those shows.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, like,
yes, sir.
I like methodical thinking, mastermind type plot stuff, like diabolical things. Like I'm all about it.
Yeah, they could have had like 20 seasons of Narcos. I'm here for it, bro. Like I love that. Yeah,
facts. And that's the like goes back into like the old school Scarface and stuff like that. Like you like a real American dream, as they would say, of just getting it from the bottom and building it up to the top. I mean, that's essentially what we're doing here.
That's what it is.
So, I mean, I'm all for
legally
it.
Though.
Yeah, legally. We ain't doing nothing illegal over here. And then we touched on Pokemon. How do you guys feel about the new Pokemon coming out? I mean, we have a lot of hard-hitting Pokemon games right now. They all look promising, to be honest. I mean, we already know Nintendo knows what we want. Like, give us Gold and Silver remakes on the Switch, like, period. Like,
let's give us all the remakes on the Switch. Yeah.
Low key. I mean, you can still buy the older versions on the Switch marketplace. I mean, they're $39.99 because Nintendo. No, I don't think they're that much. I think they're like $12-15. But either way, I mean, you can play those on your cell phones with ROMs. You didn't hear that from me. But
on another note, Nintendo needs to stop playing and release like a new version of the Switch, like that OLED stuff. Like,
so we can dig into that with the next roundup because
we'll do that next roundup.
Yeah, I want to talk about the Steam Deck. They're talking about potentially it could blow up if you tamper with it. So we'll talk about that, and we'll talk about the OLED. Yeah. And you already know they put out a disclaimer like, don't open up your Steam Deck and then the best way to get somebody not to do something is to tell them, or the best way to get somebody to do something is to tell them not to do it. So you already know, dudes is at the store. Yeah, I need a screwdriver that fits on the back of a Steam Deck. Like,
I need a jeweler set.
Yeah,
like
exactly.
Screwdrivers you got. Yeah.
But speaking on that, I mean, Nintendo there's been leaks that they've been doing the dock for the OLED is potentially, it can support 4K.
Yeah, it's a 4K one, I believe.
Yeah, so we'll see what they're gonna do with that, but we'll definitely touch bases on that. It might be something that we just touch bases on Sunday, and then we'll re-release that early or throughout the week or something like that. And then our last topic, the main meat and potatoes, was the Doja Cat and her European boyfriend, and the stigma around nerdy black guys and how they essentially get looked down on compared to like a dude who may potentially go to the gym, may potentially dress up and go drinking and all these other things, not even drinking, but just doing other things that are not gaming related, anime related,
quote unquote black stuff.
Yeah,
black
like
stuff.
Sports, being a D-boy, like driving a BMW, like from Mercedes. Like,
which isn't true at all.
Nah, not at all. But the typical black dude, and how nerdy black dudes who essentially start making money, start doing dope things, end up with like women of other races, white women, Hispanic women, you go down the list, Asian women. And there's a stigma behind it. There's a double standard where it's like, it's not okay for them to do it. But if a black woman does it, or vice versa, essentially, there shouldn't be any argument. Yeah, like regardless, like you like who you like. And truthfully, the topic for me personally wasn't something that I would necessarily worry about, because I mean, it's Doja Cat, she does what she wants, and
but at the end of the day, it's whatever.
Yeah, but it is a topic that needed to be essentially brought up, or that we wanted to bring up and highlight in the community, as far as how things are getting better for black nerds and nerdy dudes in general. Like nerdy dudes winning right now.
Even early girls too. Even nerdy girls too.
Exactly.
Black girls too. So for damn sure.
So it's becoming more of a social norm that you can come out and be like, hey, I'm not necessarily a jock. I'm not necessarily into social media and all these other popular trending things that may be attractive to a certain group of individuals. But I can read you a manga. Like, I can show you some dope anime. I can teach you how to hit your wingman shots in Apex or something like that.
Yeah.
I can trade you Pokemon. Like, I can get you your whole Pokedex filled up. Like, that's how
it's working magic.
Yeah, exactly. So, tell us what you guys think. If you guys enjoyed any of the topics, if you guys enjoyed this weekly roundup, we want to be able to do this every Friday. Essentially, Friday is when we will be trying to drop the episode. This one might just get done real quick and pushed back out for Saturday morning or Saturday afternoon. So if you're seeing this on Saturday afternoon or Saturday morning or something like that, then you know that we been on our jobs, and
it's already too late.
Yeah, exactly. But so next week, expect essentially the same thing, because truthfully, it's Friday morning, so essentially we want to see everybody in the States Friday morning looking at this video and being like, okay, this is what I can catch up. Or Friday after you get off of work, and you can kind of catch up and look back on everything that you kind of missed. Because as much as I want to say that this information is general information, a lot of people will be like, what do you mean Sora is releasing in Smash Bros? Like,
exactly. Yeah.
Like, what do you mean like Pokemon is coming up again? Like, so we try to essentially put you guys in the space to stay up to date with all the blurred activity. And this is just the tip of the iceberg, because New World dropped, Tales of Arise has been grinding out. Like, so we're not just going to touch on gaming and anime and stuff like that. We'll touch on real life. So we'll try to do, if you're good with hip hop, one like trending real world topic, like one like the Doja Cat situation.
Yeah, for sure.
We'll jump into a gaming issue, or like something gaming related, I'll potentially do some anime stuff, just like what is a trending anime? What is something that we've
Demon Slayer 2?
Yeah, like trending topics in each subject that we cover on the channel, and then that way we can touch bases on everything. And then we kind of just do it for everybody. So if you're here for the anime, if you're here for the gaming, if you're here for the men's health and the topics, things like that, then we'll have it all rounded up on Friday. So
one-stop shop, guys. One-stop shop.
Yep. So with that being said, we appreciate y'all stopping by. We'll have the full crew here hopefully tomorrow. I'm gonna just leave it at that. For those of y'all who know, I can't even speak. For those of you who are returning members, y'all probably know what I'm talking about. But all right, I appreciate y'all. And as you guys know, like, comment, subscribe, please. If you made it this far, you are one of our dedicated fans, and you are the reason why we're still doing this. So please like, comment, share. Let us know what you think, and share it to somebody who might see the same views, or just you heard somebody talking about it, even if somebody at work, hey, you seen this podcast, and then we'll go from there.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So also, one last thing. I know I'm becoming Graham out here, but we're gonna probably try to start streaming on Twitch. So stay tuned.
Stay tuned for that. It's gonna be dope. It's gonna be dope, guys.
So potentially we might be on Twitch tomorrow with our Africa talk. So be on the lookout. If we're already live, then
it's already too late.
Yeah, exactly. All right, but catch y'all later.
Peace.
This is for Graham. Finger guns.